Actually, Bert, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. My name is Judy Culpepper. My address is 7921 Plantation Lakes Drive in Port St. Lucie. I can never top Phyllis. I won't even try. Thank you for what you just had to say. I can only talk to you like the gal I am, the girl that grew up in Fort Pierce, Florida, born and raised here. And what I simply want to say to you is 750 is about control. It's not about planning unless it's planning for control at a much higher level. I appreciated your comment, Commissioner Dazowski, about wanting to have a voice. I used to belong to the Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council as your representative some years back. The man that is there now speaking to all the plans that he has was here 25 years ago. Excuse me, but his plans were just as unusual and esoteric back then as they are today. If you relinquish your control, I believe you'll be abrogating your duty to represent us because we won't have representation anymore. I'm not going to talk to you about whether you'll have a purpose for a job or not. That's irrelevant. What's important is that you remain our ombudsman, whether you agree with us or not. You need to pull out of this. You need to pull out of this as soon as you possibly can, and you need to do it so that you can control things. Last week in Thursday's paper on B1, just below the fold, there was a pretty large article about a redevelopment in Jensen Beach. It was about an apartment complex that used to have about 130 some odd units or something like that, and ultimately, after much ado, it was reduced to 21 single-family residential units, which seemed to please the Jensen Beach neighborhood area. In 750, the term Manhattanize is used. Manhattan, of course, is New York City at its finest, and if you've never been there, it's a great place to visit, but I sure as heck don't want to live there. So what I'm trying to say to you is we're going to be Manhattanized. And if you think density in Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach is too much for you, then you want to get out of this because that's what you're headed for. You are headed for stack and pack, is it called, Phyllis? Well, we don't want that. We don't want 600 square feet to live in. We like our houses, thank you very much. And they're quite sustainable as long as there aren't too many of them. That's the key, density. You do not want to let this happen. And if you think you'll have a voice any more than you do now on the Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council, you'll be so outvoted and so frustrated it won't even be funny. I speak from experience. It's no fun to be in the minority, and that's exactly where you'll be. Only you'll have Dade County and Broward added to the mix instead of just having to deal with Palm Beach County. Please, next week, if that's when you're planning to vote on this, please withdraw. Thank you very much.